Hey everybody, it's Pax. Welcome back to the next scenario of the campaign play-along for Path to Carcosa, A Phantom of Truth. For some reason the campaign log here says Scenario 6, but this is Scenario 5. Not sure why it says that. I've never actually noticed that before. That's funny. Anyways, Ursula and Leo have heeded the warning. We're no longer allowed to say Harrison Ford, and we'll be taking horror if we do. So that'll be fun going forward, and you get to enjoy correcting me on those in the comments. Without further ado, let's go take a look at their deck upgrades. So for Ursula, we're doing a pretty simple charisma and a magnifying glass. In a moment, we're going to be picking up Lost Soul from those dreams. So very, very easy one for her. And then for Leo Anderson, we're dropping a 1-2 punch for a second copy of Shotgun. And again, picking up Lost Soul. And then we do our dreaming, so we go to 1, which gives us the Lost Soul weakness, and then we go to 2, which we check whether we slayed the monsters at the dinner party, which we did. We both suffer mental trauma, which you'll notice in the previous cut I had that trauma there. Then we do Dream 6, which is on the next page. The police were not suspicious. We did warn them, but we didn't steal, so they didn't become suspicious. Back to Dream 8. Where's that one right here? We only have 2 tally marks. We only got the 2 from the first scenario, so Dream 9. We chase him, but we don't find him. Dream 13. Daniel calls out to us, they're opening the path to Carcosa, and then we wake up and we go, holy fuck, we need to go to Paris. And then we remember that Jordan gave us some pocket change and sent us to a crappy bar. The only notable thing during setup is that we have more conviction than doubt, so we're going to be getting Black Star's Rise. We're going to be removing Black Star's Rise and False Lead from the game, and we're going to be using the Act as described here. And those are all kind of provided up here in Tabletop Simulator. Aside from that, we've got a couple of locations to randomize. We'll take one of each of those out and get rid of them. And let's pull some opening hands. So there's a shuffle for Ursula, and she gets, ooh, that's not too bad. That's pretty cool. Definitely getting rid of Unexpected Courage. I don't know why my hand keeps showing up. Get rid of that thing. Shortcut's very nice to see, and I think I want to keep that. Celiano Fragments is just okay. The Calling in Favors isn't good unless I have an ally. I might draw an ally, but I'm not really counting on it, so let's get rid of that as well. I think that with how quickly the Organist can come into play in this scenario, I'm going to be getting rid of that and trying to get something a little more impactful. And not quite getting it. Not quite getting it, but that's okay. Tattered Cloak will be active shortly enough. Then over here on Leo, we'll do a shuffle for him as well. Here we go. Not bad. Again, I'd really like to see a weapon. And this is my only money. So, I'm going to very hesitantly get rid of a Guard Dog and a Vicious Blow, and hope that the Overpower Watch this and Lonnie will be my escape plan for money, and a Mauser. Okay, good. Mauser's good enough for the types of enemies that show up in this scenario. Take a quick look at the encounter bag here. This skull is at a 0 right now. Total doom in play. And the Elder Things are -2. If you fail, lose a resource for each point you failed by. So those are actually pretty mild, I think. Take another look at the map here. There's a whole lot going on. If I'm not incorrect, and I don't think I'm incorrect, those are all VP locations, and so I'm going to want to clear those off for sure. But we're starting off down here at Montparnasse, which is a 2-clue location, 2 shroud, where we can discard cards from our hand to gain resources, but we're definitely not going to be needing that right now. And finally, before we get going, while you have more conviction than doubt, when checking the Doom threshold, Doom on cards other than this agenda, subtract from the Doom total in play instead of adding to it. So, going to be keeping that in mind. Doom in play is currently removing Doom. And then the Parisian Conspiracy version 2, we either spend the requisite number of clues to advance, which is 4, or at the end of the round, if there are 3 or more Doom in play, advance. So we'll go ahead with Leo Anderson first. He's going to use his ability to pop Lonnie Ritter into play for 1, 2, 3. Then he's going to play a Mauser for 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to take a draw action for another Beat Cop. That's cool. That's very nice to see. And then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to play this Safeguard right off the bat. Okay, so for Ursula, we're going to do one draw action first, which is going to be a Lab Assistant. That's handy. We're going to go ahead and do a move up to the Gardens of Luxembourg, which is she's going to enter, and then we're going to trigger Leo's ability to follow. It's a 3 shroud, 2 clue location. While by a key enemy is moving, if there is an investigator at the Gardens of Luxembourg, that enemy's location is considered to be connected to the Gardens of Luxembourg. And she's going to go ahead and do an investigate here. We're going to commit a Eureka to that to be 5 against 3. You know what, we're just going to go ahead and commit our other Eureka to be 6 against 3. So we're going to be 3 up, -1, that's great, so we succeed. Picking up 1 clue, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at our Eureka pulls. I don't think we need to use the cryptic writings, and I think that we'll just take the deduction to try and make sure that we can get the clues we need. And let's go ahead and resolve the next Eureka. Alright, a field work. That's really good to see as well. That'll make it a lot easier to stay ahead of what's-his-face, the organist. And if I'm clever and leave a couple clues on the rail locations, I can make it so that I walk onto him and just do a huge evade, if necessary. Now I have one more action left, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm either going to play my fieldwork or my lab assistant. I don't think I want to play the Tattered Cloak yet. And I'm going to take a quick look at the board just to make sure that I'm making the right choice here. If I recall correctly, both of these have relatively high shroud, but I'm probably just going to head back to Montparnasse and grab the easy clues off that, and try and finish off this last clue in Garden of Luxembourg as well. And those would be enough to clear the location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my lab assistant for a bit more soak, and also just to get a couple more cards in hand. And we get the Man in the Pallid Mask, spawning at the location farthest from us. And we also get a cryptic writings, which I could use for 2 resources. And I might want to, because I do have a lot of assets in this deck, but I don't have them now. But let's resolve the Man in the Pallid Mask first. So we can either put him on this, or this. I think we're going to be heading here sooner. Grand Guignol, Theater of the Great Puppet. So that's where we're going to place him. Now, I do want to think again on this cryptic writings. I guess the question is, do I need the 2 icons more? And I think the answer is no, because I have the field work. So let's just take the $2 and hope that I'm not making a mistake on that. So go ahead and do our upkeep on Ursula. The obsessive, ugh, yuck. And then Leo for Mitch Brown. Okay, getting a lot of allies early. I'm going to want some resources, and I'm going to want to find an enemy to shoot. So we're at 1 of the 3 Doom, which we have the end of the round to wait for. And then we're up to encounter cards on Ursula. Frozen in Fear. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. And then Deadly Fate. Test 3. If you fail, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. You must either draw that enemy, or it attacks you. If no enemy is discarded, take a horror instead. Well, we're up 1, and we'll just take that. Oh, yeah. What a start. No draw, but we pass it, so we don't have to worry about that. But that does give us a bit of breathing room. So we're going to go ahead with Leo first, and we're just going to discard Ursula's Obsessive, because that's a really nasty card, and she can't get rid of it without suffering from it first. So we're just going to be a good partner and do that right off the bat. And then we're going to take a resource, because we are going to need some money to get Mitch and the beat comp into play, and also to overpower and watch this off of our Mauser. And then over on Ursula, I have to take a second to decide whether I want to use this logical reasoning to get rid of this Frozen in Fear now, or try to test it off later. And I think the answer is that I want to use this now and not have to worry about that later. So I'll play only if I have 1 clue. Let's do that correctly this time. That gets to discard a terror from his or her threat area. That's action 1. Action 2, we're going to go ahead and play the field work. And then we're also going to play the shortcut onto our location. And that'll make it so that whenever we're in the gardens, we have a exhaust to move that anyone can use there. And then we're going to immediately exhaust that, sending Ursula back down to Montparnasse with Leo in tow. We're going to use her reaction to take an investigate there. 4, 5, 6 against 2. Picking up a clue. And then we'll just do another investigate, 2 up for the other one. Hey, there we go. Look at that. +1, after this test ends, you may move to a connecting location. Oh, that's exhausted, but we get the 2 clues. And then we got to think about where we want to move and if we want to move. I think we're going to go ahead and take that move. And we're just going to open up some locations. I think the Guerre d'Orsay has a cool move effect, so we'll head up there and see what he has again. 4 Shroud, 2 clues, spend a resource to move to any rail location. Right, so you can like teleport across the map with that. Great. Okay. That gives me a better idea of what's going on with the scenario. I'm still probably going to move in here and grab this clue for the last one that we need, but you know, it gives us some options. So we get our upkeep on Ursula. It is an unexpected courage. And we get our upkeep on Leo, which is an overpower. We get our second of 6 Doom. And an encounter card on Ursula. Hunting Shadow. Either spend a clue or take 2 damage. Well, you know what? We've got the clues to spend now. I think we're going to go ahead and spend a clue. And then our good old friend Leo is getting his Spires of Carcosa. Attach to your location, then place 2 Doom on that location. If there's no Doom on the attached location, discard Spires of Carcosa. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues here, remove 1 Doom from the attached location. Now that does mean that I'm going to need to get all of the clues this round, because the Act is actually just looking for 3 or more Doom in play, not 3 or more Doom on the agenda. And notably, my skulls are actually all the way at a -4 right now, which is pretty rough. So a couple strategic things to kind of consider this turn is I could have Ursula like move, do her investigate, do another investigate, and actually clear this to give me that other turn to get the clues that I need, because I do need to get 2 clues after throwing 1 away. And this is a bit of a tricky one. This is a bit of a tricky one. I know this one is as well. I think this one has like a big like commit thing on it for one of the options. I don't quite remember how it works, but I might be better off trying to clear these 2 Doom. The problem is that Leo is so bad at getting clues that he really isn't doing anything else but wait around for enemies. And so I'm kind of thinking that it might be Ursula's best bet to take this move action and like head to one of these 2 rail locations. It kind of puts her out on her own, which I'm a little worried about for if Buddy pops out. Not being close to Leo, so I might have him go that way as well before I spend the clues. And that way we'll kind of be ahead of him-ish, and then we'll be able to figure out what we want to do. So yeah, we're going to spend 1 clue, or sorry, 1 resource of Ursula, and let's head to Le Marais. So 1 Shroud, 2 clue location. After you enter Le Marais, for the remainder of the round, you cannot leave Le Marais. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and use an action to gather a clue. We are currently 3 up, so that's successful. Let's just use the field work, I guess, because we're just going to spend another action gathering another clue. I don't want to waste the deduction on a really low clue and low shroud location. So now we're, I guess, 5 up. +1, great. So we get both of those clues. And we've got enough clues to advance the act. Let's just go ahead and take a draw action, because we're probably going to need a little bit more. Okay, Guiding Stones is going to be really good. I do need some boosts before it gets, like, really good, though. Okay, so over on Leo, see, I'm hesitant to use this on the beat comp, because I want to be able to get the money off to watch this. But at the same time, I kind of feel like just getting the beat comp out now gets me more money off my Mauser. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3 for the beat comp. Boom, that's done. We're going to take 2 moves to head up to Ursula, because we want to be in the same spot as her. So let's reveal Notre Dame. Okay, it's only a 3 shard location. Alright, I was mistaken. 2 clues. Each enemy gets -1 fight, +1 evade. Test 6 willpower. If you succeed, either place a Doom on the current agenda, or remove a Doom from the current agenda. Group limit once per game. Okay. And then we're going to move again up with Ursula. So now we both cannot leave Le Marais. It's 2 actions. And then finally, we're just going to go ahead and draw another card. Last action. Cool of Glory. Okay. Some icons to commit to her, or if we do end up ever getting some enemies for us to kill, that is an easy card draw. And before we go any further, we're going to spend the requisite number of clues to advance, just so we don't have to deal with the worst version of this advancing. Flips. Spawn the set-aside the Organist enemy at the location farthest from all investigators. Hopeless I defied him side face up. Advance to 2A, Stalked by Shadows. So he's going to spawn at the Gare L'Ossé, and he is the Hunter cannot be damaged 5/3 after he moves from the Hunter keyword. If he's unengaged, resolve his Hunter keyword again. He cannot attack this phase. Limit once per round. 3 horror when he hits. Yuck. And then Act 2, spend 2 clues as a group. Either place 1 doom on the current agenda or automatically evade the organist. Group limit once per round. Objective, survive 3 nights. Do not advance until you are instructed. Oh, I wasn't being very smart. I just did that at the end of the enemy phase. Or, the end of the investigator phase. So, yeah, I guess he hunts right away, right? Not very smart at all. 1, 2. So we'll do our upkeep for Ursula. Calling in favors, that'll be useful. And then an upkeep for Leo. We get a calling in favors as well. That'll also be useful. We're up to 3 doom. The doom threshold is currently at 1 out of 6, though, because of that Spires of Carcosa. And an encounter card for Ursula. Let's get Hunted by Bayaki. Test 6 agility. Okay, well, we're just going to do 4 against 6. And then it's the whole if you fail, reveal cards from the top. And if at least one Bayaki enemy is revealed, choose and draw it. If an Omen Treachery is revealed, take a horror. So let's go ahead and pull that. That's a -5, so we fail tremendously. So let's see those top 6 cards of the encounter deck. Oh my gosh. Wow, unreal. No Bayakis, we don't choose and draw any of them, but there is definitely an Omen. So we take a horror and then we shuffle the encounter deck. And then over on Leo, we're going to get a Screeching Bayaki. Cool. So there's a victory point for us to scoop up. Well, I think we're going with Leo first, because we really want to kick this guy's ass, right? Let's just get rid of him. Let's kill this guy. Let's get some victory. Let's make this scenario worthwhile. We're not going to play Mitch because we don't have money to, but we are going to start taking shots. So Mauser shoots. We're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. And I think we're going to commit an overpower to this because these are the guys that we kind of need to spend these on. And I really want to be able to take a second shot with this gun. So that's 10 against 3. A -1, so we definitely succeed by 4. So we get to ready it and take a buck. And we deal 2 damage. And we draw a card from Overpower. And there's our handy dandy guard dog. We're going to take another shot. Ba-bam. This time we're just going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. -1 again. So that's 7 against 3, so we actually get to ready that and take $1 as well. And that defeats the Screeching Bayaki. And he's going to get tossed dead center in the Hex Zone. And now, when he gets defeated, we're going to go ahead and play that Glory. I think that we kind of need the cards a little more than anything else. I think that now we need the money more than we need to play this Glory, because this hand size is a little over. And to that end, we're going to go ahead and just take a resource last action. Because I'm going to want to get Mitch out, and then I'm going to want to slow roll my guard dogs and stuff like that as well. And get my other bead cop out of the deck eventually. Okay, so that's Leo. We're going to go ahead with Ursula, and I think what we're going to do with Ursula is go take that dead end in the corner. And I think the reason we're going to do that is because I'm pretty sure we can move there, bring Leo with us, and then he'll hunt into the dead end, and then we can get out pretty reasonably. I think we can get out pretty reasonably. I don't think we need to make it all the way to the Opera, and to that end, Leo can't because he's 1 location away from the Organist. So that's just not going to happen. So we're going to take a move up to the Père Lachaise Cemetery. I realize I am going in the total opposite direction I said I was going to, which is a 1 shroud, 2 per investigator. After you successfully investigate this, you cannot leave this until the end of the round. Okay, that's fine. And he's going to follow in with his safeguard. And so we're going to be here doing an investigate. Probably should have played the archaic glyphs first, but that's okay. We'll pop our field work. Actually, will we? No, we're not going to pop our field work. We're going to pop the deduction, and we'll be 5 against 1. 0. Okay, so that's 2 clues. And then we're going to pop the field work. That'll give us +2 to our next test. We are going to put the archaic glyphs into play for 2 resources. And then we're going to investigate once with the archaic glyphs, 6 against 1. Oh, that's a -5. So I think we only get the 1 clue, which is a bit of a bummer because it would have been really nice to get both of those clues and not have to sit around here an extra round. But I think we can kind of loop back around. We've got a long time to fuck around here. So he's going to hunt towards us twice, 1, 2, and we're going to have him engaged on... It doesn't matter because I'm going to evade him by spending 2 clues. So we'll just toss him on Ursula. Then it'll be upkeep, a Disc of Insomnia. That'll be nice to have. That'll be really nice to have for buying keys in a couple minutes. And then Leo gets a 45, which is just fine. It is another gun for when this one runs out, so that's good. 4 minus 2 is 2 doom out of 6. And then encounter cards. Twin Suns. If you fail, you must either remove a doom from the current agenda or take a horror for each point you failed by. Well, don't have a lot of commits for that. I guess Leo could send over his glory. And I think he is. He's full up on cards. We're pretty set up. Another gun will be nice, but it's not necessary right now. So let's go 6 against 4. -3. So we either remove a doom from the current agenda or take a horror. Let's take a horror on the lab assistant. Then over here on Leo, we get Hunting Shadow, so that's just 2 damage. I don't have any recourse against that. Okay, so we'll spend 2 clues to automatically evade the Organist. We're going to take a move with Ursula over to the Canal Saint-Martin. There's a 4 Shroud, 2 clue location. After you evade an enemy here, move that enemy to a connecting location, victory 1. Leo is going to safeguard over with her. We're going to go ahead and investigate. We're going to use the fieldwork to get +2 to this. We're going to pop in an unexpected courage, and we're going to be investigating with an archaic glyphs. It's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 4, -4. So again, it's just 1 clue. But again, that's okay. We can come back later when we need it a little more. We're going to go ahead and use a Calling in Favors on this lab assistant to try and move her along. So she's going to be going back to hand, and we'll see if we can get someone a little bit better in slot. Alright, and here's our options. Pretty stuck on this one between Witten and Jake. I don't have Witten's ability active right now, but I have a lot of locations to get it active, and it'd be really nice to pull Veseliano fragments out and make her giving us +1/+1. The other option is Jake, who, when we move, we just get a card draw. And I also don't have to deal with the tax of opportunity. And if I keep putting, what's-his-face, the hunter, on her, then Jake's pretty valuable, I think. So I think we're going to go ahead and keep Jake, spending 1 more resource. And then, you know what, let's just do 1 more move. We'll head down to Montmartre. It's a 2 Shroud, 2 clue location, spend a resource to add a supplier ammo token to a card you control. Okay, great. And then when she moves, Jake Williams, not when we move, but when we reveal the location, he exhausts and we get our other Witten. Okay, so now we can have both of them, and maybe that's not so bad. At the start of his turn, we're going to use this and 2 resources to play out Mitch Brown, and we're just going to like bump things around a little bit to make it a bit clearer what's going on. That'll be a charisma slot, and then this will be one of my unnamed guys that he gives me. Well, he doesn't have a whole lot he can do at a 4 Shroud location, so let's just try and keep up with Ursula. We're going to take a draw action, another 45. That's fine. And then I think we're going to take a resource. The Organist doesn't do anything in the enemy phase. We do upkeep, Call of the Unknown on Ursula, but that's okay. This is a point in the scenario where I think I'm pretty safe just calling, heeding the call. And then an upkeep on Leo, a beat cop. Okay, so I guess I should have used Calling in Favors last action on Lonnie instead. But that's alright. That's alright. Another Doom up on the first night. And an encounter card for Ursula. The Torturous Chords. Test 5. If you fail, put it into your threat area with a resource for each point you failed by. Alright, well we're testing 3 against 5. I don't think I'm going to commit to this. -3. So we're getting 5 resources up on this that are going to cost us extra every time we play something. Which is a little painful. It is a little painful, but I guess we'll see what happens. We're on Leo. The Pale Mask beckons. If he's in play, he attacks each investigator in player order. If he's not in play, search him. Draw him. Deals 1 horror to Ursula and 1 horror to Leo. Okay, so Ursula's going to do something a little risky and claim that she's going to be doing the Call of the Unknown in the Gardens of Luxembourg, because we're just going to pop around and try and get that solved. And to that end, that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to take one move over to the Opera Garnier. Which is a 5 Shroud, 2 Clue location while you're investigating it. Double the number of skill icons and cards committed to this skill test. Okay. And then we exhaust Jake to take a draw action. Or not a draw action, but a draw. Calling in favors. Okay. And Leo is also going to safeguard. Following us along. And then we're going to take another move action to there. And we're going to take a final move action of the turn to the Gardens of Luxembourg. We'll be using the field work and her reaction ability to investigate for 6 against 3. We do have -5s in the bag. We have 3 -5s in the bag. But I think I kind of just have to do this, and worst comes to worst, we just take 2 horror. Yeah, there we got it. That's a bummer. So, at the end of her turn, she did not successfully investigate that location, so she takes 2 horror, which is going to go right on her, and then we're going to shuffle that back into the deck. So on Leo's turn, we're going to pop this Beat Cop into play, 1, 2, 3, and call ourselves pretty set up. And then we're just going to babysit Ursula a little bit, so 2 moves. Well, I guess just 1 move to catch up with her, kind of. No, 2 moves to catch up with her. I was thinking 1, but I do want to be here because right now Bayek enemies, I guess, hunt here, if that's a concern. I don't think it's a concern right away, but, you know, better safe than sorry. And then we'll just go ahead and take a resource. So the Organist is going to hunt, and then his hunting ability is going to trigger, and we're going to scoot him down there. Get our upkeep for Ursula, an unexpected courage. And then upkeep for Leo, an extra ammunition. We'll get a Doom, that puts us up to an effective 4 out of 6 Doom. And we'll get encounter cards. So for Ursula, we see test 2. If you fail, take 2 horror. If the Man in the Pallid Mask is in play, horror dealt by this effect is considered direct horror, and this test has +2 difficulty. Well, we're testing 3 against 4, and we're going to be taking 2 direct horror if it misses. So we're going to be committing some stuff to this, I think. I'd rather not deal with this Tattered Regalia. I think that that's probably just going to kill us, this scenario. And we're going to toss in an Unexpected Courage as well. So that'll put us 4, 5, 6 against 2. And that's not, like, incredibly over the bag, but, like, I don't know. I guess it's good enough. Do I really go for another +1? Maybe. I could with this Disc of Insomnia. And that's pretty expensive and kind of solving a problem I don't need solved. So let's just commit that too. Leo's so set up for fighting, and he's right on her. So let's go where everything up to a -3 is succeeding this test. Oh, -4. Unreal. Okay, direct 2 horror. And then over on Leo, Swift by a key. Great. Man, these guys have not been coming out, and I've been wanting them to come out so badly. Like, just so badly. So we'll go ahead and just use Leo's turn first. He's going to take an attack with this Mauser, exhausting it a lot against 2. That's a -2, which is succeeding by a lot, and I believe I do this, which is going to put 2 damage on it. And then we're actually just going to punch him, I suppose. Is there any point in doing anything else? 4, 5, 6, 7 against 2. Yep, that's a kill. I guess I could have saved an action for the Beat Cop, but not a big deal. Also probably could have done the watch this on one of those, but again, not a big deal. Save it for the big guy. And then last action, we'll go ahead and we'll actually, I think we're going to take a move. Yeah, we're going to take a move over to the Guerre d'Orsay. Because for Ursula's turn, she's going to call the Unknown right here, and she's going to immediately shortcut in, triggering her field work and this ability using the Investigate on the location. On the Spires of Carcosa. So we're investigating 6. 6 against 2. We're going to commit a Calling in Favors to be 5 up. There's the 5. Great. And that's going to remove 1 Doom from this. And that's going to make it so that our agenda can advance next turn. Because we're currently at 6, that'll put us to 7, and then that'll actually advance it. I don't have Call of the Unknown. I don't know why I thought that I'd need to declare that. I don't need to declare that. I don't have it. So that's good. That's useful to have. Now we need to think about how we're getting away from him, and I think it's going to be like a move, bring him with me move. So we'll just go ahead and do those moves. Move and safeguard. At this point, I really need to consider how close I am to getting instantly killed. And so I'm going to have to eat this cost on here. 1, 2, 3 for a lab assistant to draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Great to see. But we do remove one of those from that. The hunter guy is going to go 1, 2, chasing us a little bit. We're going to get our upkeep over here on Ursula, burning the Midnight Oil. Not great, but it is, I mean, it does let us investigate and take a resource as one action. And then on Leo, I believe that's hand-sized limit. Let's get rid of the calling in favors. I think that we might be in store for a bit more horror. We might have to tank some of this when this hunter guy inevitably catches up with us. Get one more Doom, which actually puts us at the 6. Clear all the Doom in play, which also gets rid of this, and gets rid of the Spires of Carcosa. We advance. Each investigator disengages from each enemy engaged with him or her and may move to a connecting location. Move the organist 1 location away from the nearest investigator to a location with no investigators if possible. So that's really handy. He's going to head back to Montparnasse. But also we can take a move to a connecting location. And that's a little tempting. We could head Ursula up here, get a free draw from Jake. But the thing is, I kind of want to get rid of him because we're going to keep getting hit for a bunch of horror off that awful test. And also, I want to have my fieldworks to be able to let me investigate him away and defeat him. So we'll just take the move over here to Montmartre because we don't need the fieldworks to get these clues as badly. And we do want to get these eventually as well. And that kind of puts us in a bit more of a central location and just one more location away from him. Now it's a 5 Doom agenda here, and we'll head to our encounter cards. We get another Torturous Chords on poor Ursula. Oh man. You can have 2 of these? Yuck! Alright, well she gets a +1 and she's allowed to move to a connecting location. So let's do the +1. She does get this into play with 1 thing on it there. But that does let us, after this test ends, you may move to a connecting location. Okay, so let's figure out how we want to do this. I think we are going to do this now. Oh, I don't know how high that shroud's going to be. Yeah, let's just do it. Alright, she's going to move in there, revealing the Grand Guignol. After you reveal Grand Guignol, you must either take 2 horror or shuffle all non-weakness cards from your hand into your deck and then draw an equal number of cards. Victory 1. Oh dear. Oh, that's an even tougher calculation. Okay, so I think I just kill my lab assistant off, which I don't really want to do, but I really want to play this Burning the Midnight Oil, or sorry, not play the Burning the Midnight Oil, but I really want to get this fieldwork into play, and I need this perception to pass this investigate. So we're going to move into the location. She's going to get killed. We're going to fieldwork for +2 to investigate. We're going to, after you move to a location, take an investigate action, and then we're going to commit a perception to clearing off the Man in the Pallid Mask. It's going to be a difficulty 5, investigate. And we're going to be investigating at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 5. That's currently -0. So we do succeed. We succeed by 2, getting 2 card draws. Nice, that's really good. And this butthole gets defeated, and we get to put a tally in the marks eventually. Overall, a fairly successful investigation, or not investigation phase, excuse me, mythos phase. Jesus. And let's get a counter card for Leo. Test 4, if you fail, take 2 horror and search your deck for a madness weakness. Alright, well, probably just going to fail that. -0. I'll take it. Oh, another thing I forgot to do was draw a card with Jake when I revealed that location, and I did intend to do that. So there's a disc of it. No. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our turn with Ursula first. We're going to play a Burning the Midnight Oil on the location, costing us 2, but getting 2 back, getting rid of one of these Torturous Chords, 1 resource from each of them. And we're going to be investigating 4 against 3. Let's commit the perception to be 7 against 3. -3. So we succeed by 1, so we do get 1 card and we get 1 clue. And then we're going to try something else, which is moving back to Leo. Then we're going to take one more action, which is just grabbing a resource, because we do need to get some more cards into play. I've got a lot of expensive stuff, and I've got this Torturous Cord just really chunking away at my money. Over on Leo, man, he's got like nothing to do. This is brutal. Let's go ahead and play an Emergency Cash. Let's go ahead and play 1, 2, 3, 4, a 45 auto. And fuck it, let's just do an Investigate here. 3 against 2. -1? Yeah, let's get a clue. That's fine. That'll make it a bit easier for us to stay ahead of Dickus. So he's going to hunt towards us, and I think we're going to have him hunt in this direction. 1, 2. We'll get upkeep on Ursula for an Arcane Enlightenment. Definitely not be playing that this game. And then upkeep on Leo for a Vicious Blow. That'll be nice to see when we get another one of those 3 health guys. Right, 1 out of 5 Doom on the second night. And encounter cards, starting with Ursula. Another Torturous Cords. Let's commit that Arcane Enlightenment up there. And let's also commit the Disc of Insomnia. So we're going to be at 3, 4, 5, 6 against 5. A -2, so that just gets 1 resource on it. And then for Leo, we get Deadly Fate. We're up by 1 right now. -1, so that's successful. Alright, so we're going to start off with Ursula. We're going to play for 1, 2, and then 3, 4 because of these Torturous Cords. Our second copy of Fieldwork. We're going to take a move action back up to the Canal Saint-Martin. We're going to have him safeguard. Say 4 Shroud location. We're going to go ahead and use her react ability after both of our fieldworks to be an Investigate 4 up, which is successful. And then last action, we're just going to go ahead and take a resource. Again, we still have some cards we want to get into play eventually before the end of the scenario. I want to get my magnifying glasses if I see them. And more allies to soak a bit more of this horror up for me. So money is the name of the game right now. Now for Leo, we're going to have him move. He's going to head over to the Père Lachaise Cemetery, and he's actually just going to try a couple of throwaway investigates here as well. We'll see how far that goes. So we're up 3 against 1. That's a -2, and that's successful. So he gets that clue. He can't move out, but that's okay. Last action, he's just going to take a draw, because we're currently at 7, and I don't mind discarding this second 45. That's good to see as well. That's great. Okay. And then before the Hunter phase, we're going to go ahead and spend 2 clues off of Ursula to auto-evade the Organist, so that we have a bit more breathing room on how we're going to get out of this corner of the map. Okay, so upkeep for Ursula. That's another copy of Witten Green. Should be great to get into play just for the soak, if nothing else. And then upkeep for, not Ursula, Leo, getting the shotgun. So I think we're going to get rid of our guard dog for him. 2 out of 5 Doom. And we'll get an encounter card over on Ursula. It's a Frozen in Fear. So that's going to have us locked up for a little while, I think. And then over on Leo, we get the Deadly Fate. Testing 3 willpower. We're currently 1 up. Do we really want to... Again, it's not a big deal if we get an enemy. So that's a -2 right now. So we do fail. So we discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. You must either draw that enemy or it attacks you. If no enemy is discarded, take a horror. So we're discarding cards from the top until we hit an enemy. Stealthy buy a key. Lovely. He is going to engage me. So we're just going to go ahead with Leo to deal with this guy first. Let's shoot him once with the Mauser. We're going to be at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 5. Auto fail. Super. We'll take another shot with the 45 this time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 5. -1. Okay, so he's toast that time. Good enough. Take what you can get, right? And then last action, we're going to take a move. We're going to head from the Lachaise Cemetery down to Le Marais. We're going to move there last action so that we can leave there next turn. And he is ready. I forgot to ready him during the upkeep phase. So now we're looking at our turn on Ursula. We're going to go ahead with the Frozen in Fear. First time we perform an action, move, fight, or evade. It costs an additional action. So 1, 2 to do our first move. And we're going to head to Montmartre. 2 Shroud location. We're going to pop both of our fieldworks and do our Investigate with Ursula's reaction. Just trying to pick up a couple clues to stay ahead on the clue game here. Then last action, we're also going to pop into Le Marais. And now, my question is, am I going to let him walk on to me before I evade him? And I think the answer is yes, because if I evade him here, after he's hunted, then we have all this space over here to kind of run away from him, and I think that's longer before we have to go again, because we're going to be going this way, and then he'll hunt this way, and he'll cut us off, right? So, move, he's going to go engage with Leo. I did forget, at the end of my turn, I'm testing 3, and we're going to pop a Guts into that from Leo Anderson. And 2-up is very solid right now, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Elder Sign. Well, that's quite good. Okay, so technically she gets to move before he would have hunted, because I did this in the wrong order. But anyways, this is discarded. Leo draws a card, and she's going to move. So let's just say, oh no, she can't move for the end of the round. So she can't move anyways. Leo draws a card with the Guts, another Vicious Blow, that's cool. He's already done his hunting, so we do our upkeep. That's the Magnifying Glass I really wanted to get into play earlier. And then another upkeep over here. It's the Lost Soul. Cool. So, if you have more conviction than doubt, you test willpower 3, where X is your intellect. If you fail, take 2 damage. So we're testing 4 against 3. It wouldn't hurt to be 1 more up, but I don't actually have any commits. So, bummer. Yeah, we do fail, so we take 2 damage. And we'll just slap 1 onto each of them. It's another Doom. Counter cards for Ursula. Stealthy buy a key. Okay, Hunter. While he's exhausted, he gets -3 fight. And then for Leo, we get the Marked by the Sign. That's a 2 willpower. So it's just horror. It's not direct anymore. So we're testing 4 against 2. I think that's okay. Yeah, -2. Easy, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and spend 2 clues off of Ursula to evade Mr. Organist. And then we're going to do Ursula's turn first. So she's going to take a move action. She doesn't take attacks of opportunity because of Jake. She's going to head down to Notre Dame. And Leo is going to follow. We're going to pop both of our field works to be evading 8 against 3. Second action. -2, so he's definitely evaded. We're going to go ahead and pop this Magnifying Glass into play for 1 resource because of the Torturous Chords. And then last action, we're going to take another move over to the Gardens of Luxembourg and test and investigate there. We're going to be 5 against 3. We do not succeed at that. Leo's going to play a quick game of Bug Splat, so he's going to blast the shit out of that buy a key. He succeeds by an astronomical amount because of that guy's -3 fight that's going on right now. -4 fight, I think. Leo's going to take a draw action for another Mauser, and he's just going to go ahead and play that Mauser over his Mauser. No hunting for Mr. Organist. We get our upkeep on Ursula, our next Magnifying Glass. And an upkeep on Leo, another Watch This. Now, we're not really hurting for money right now. I think I'm going to toss away this 45. 4 out of 5 Doom on the second night. And encounter cards. Spires. Bummer. Okay, well, it is what it is. Put the 2 Doom on that and I'll bring it over. And then for Leo, we get Twisted to His Will. If there's no Doom in play, gain Surge. Otherwise, test X. So there's a fuckload of Doom right now. And I think I just fail this. -1 is definitely failing. I think it's testing against 6 because of that Spires that just popped out. So 2 cards from my hand at random. It's always these 2 when I do this. Not that bad, but kind of annoying. So Ursula's going to go first. She's going to get rid of this last Torturous Chords by playing her other Magnifying Glass. She's going to use the shortcut to pop over here, and then she's going to take a move action to walk right back in. We're going to pop 1 field work to take an investigate at the location to try and grab one of these Doom off. So we're going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. That's 1 Doom gone. We're going to pop our other field work after that test is complete. Do another investigate, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get the other Doom off, and then we're just going to do an investigate of 4, 5, 6 to get the last clue, -3. Got it, finally. Leo's going to head and take a move action to catch up with Ursula. And then he's going to go ahead and take a draw action, getting a Psychosis into play. Bit annoying, but not too bad. And then he'll take another draw action to get a Calling in Favors. The Organist is going to hunt twice towards us, and he's going to engage Ursula. We'll do our upkeep, getting a deduction, and upkeep getting a stand together. Get 5 Doom. That's our threshold. Each investigator disengages with each enemy engaged with him or her and may move to a connecting location. Move the Organist 1 location away from the nearest investigator to a location with no investigators if possible. We are on the 3rd night with only another 5 Doom threshold. That has the map looking like this, and that also technically has Ursula able to do her investigate action, which she's going to with her Fieldworks. I think we'll do both Fieldworks. And let's go ahead and use this Archaic Glyph Sword. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against 4, -2. That's both the clues off the location. Great. And then we're looking at our encounter cards. Twisted Twin Suns. Okay, if you fail, you must either move Doom from the agenda or take a horror for each point you failed by. Ooh, that's a bad one to be getting right now in this particular moment. Let's commit a lot to this, because I don't want to just die. We'll put the Casaliano fragments in. We'll put a Archaic Glyphs in. Not getting a bunch of clues or charges into play. So we'll go 3 up. I think 3 up is about as comfortable as I can get. 0. Okay. Really did not want to die there. And then Leo Anderson gets a Hunting Shadow. You either spend a clue or take 2 damage. Well, I think right now clues are very precious to me, so we're going to be taking 2 damage. And we're going to actually distribute it on our beat cops because we really don't need them for damage right now. And I guess I could just kill Lonnie off, eh? Yeah, let's just kill Lonnie off for 1 of the damage. Because I got her in hand, I can just play her. We have so much money right now. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, only 3 for Lonnie into play. Double action this Psychosis away. And then play Stand Together so we each get 2 resources. And now Ursula is going to take a move action, dragging Leo along with her. She's going to take another move action to the Grand Guignol. And then she's going to take an Investigate there, 4, 5, 6 against 3, getting that last clue. Not a lot of clues left. Alright, so the Organist is going to hunt, and he's going to go ahead. There's 2 options we have. He's either going to hunt to Ursula or to Leo. I guess he can also hunt to Leo 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3. So he can go either here or here. Those are the 2 options. Now, the question is, which do I want him to go to more? I do want to eventually reach around to go to Notre Dame, and I don't want to get stuck up at Le Marais if I have to do that. So I think I'm going to have him go 1, 2. I think that's also the riskier option, because it's a lot easier for these 2 to just like head up this way and have him follow. Right now, getting away from him this way, we got to get all the way to here, and that's quite a ways to go. The upkeep for Ursula, that's her lost soul. She'll be testing 3 against 4, which is pretty well hopeless. Oh yeah, pretty well hopeless. And then Leo Anderson, that's the wrong button, gets an Ever Vigilant, which I'm sure he would have loved to have seen earlier in the scenario. Head up to 1 Doom out of 5. And Ursula gets the Screeching by a Key. Oh no! That really throws a wrench into things, I think. Leo Anderson gets Hunted by a Key, test 6. Well, let's get all 6, and let's lose all of our money, I believe. For each resource, 1 resource for each point you failed by. Yeah, for 6. Yum. So, the top 6 cards, oh no, it's just the Swift by a Key. So, he gets drawn by him, and then this goes here. How does this work? Oh my goodness. That gets drawn by him, and then this gets shuffled, and then this goes in? Don't know. I never know this shit. That one of the more frustrating parts of the game for me is just never having a good internalized feeling of when all that happens. But I do know for sure that the Swift by a Key is right here on Leo. So that threw a pretty big wrench into the plans. Let's go ahead and look at the map. I think with him there, her best bet is to move, not take an attack of opportunity, trigger both of her fieldworks, and evade him there, and then just keep going. The Organist is going to be on Leo, but we're just going to have to... He's going to have to shoot some people and then deal with the fact that the Organist is going to hit him once, I think. Or he's going to have to use up his beat cops, killing them faster, and then take one move, and then we'll spend clues to get rid of them. But I'm running out of clues, and I do want those clues to be spent on Agenda Doom to finish the scenario once we've got this VP secured. So, we're going to take a move, ignoring an attack of opportunity with Jake Williams to meet up with Leo. Then we're going to use both of our fieldworks. I think I'm just going to use both to try and make this a sure thing. Yeah. We're going to evade the Screeching Bayaki. We're going to be up 8 against 3, which is successful. And then we're going to take a move action with Ursula to head down. Just to get a little bit farther away, if possible. That'll be her. So Mr. Leo, Mr. Anderson, you're going to have to do something interesting. So how are we going to do something interesting when we kind of suck right now? We're going to go ahead and shoot this guy with our Mauser with a Vicious Blow committed, is what we're going to do. So that'll be quite a lot against 2. -1, so it definitely succeeds and we gain $1, and it definitely deals the 3 damage we needed it to do. So that's fine. We're going to shoot again against the other Screeching Bayaki, excuse me, who I'll just put here for convenience sake. And looking at him again, I do see that he had +1 evade there. So we're fortunate that we drew a good token as we did on Ursula. Anyways, we're shooting again a lot against 3. And we're just going to go ahead and have it be a lot. I think it's okay if it's a lot. I only need to do deal 2 damage because I have 2 beat cops to follow it up with. -1 again. So I'm pretty sure that that's a succeed by 4, and if not, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to pop these guys for 1 each, defeating him, sending him to the Hex Zone with his brother, and then we'll follow Ursula. Come to think of it, could have safeguarded, but oh no, that would have left him there, so did not want to safeguard. Okay, good, cool. That's the turn. So he is going to hunt, and he's going to move on to us. And we're going to have him go on to Ursula. Then we're going to do our upkeep for Cryptic Writings. After you draw Cryptic Writings during your turn, play it. Now, actually, hold on. Let me just think of something really quickly. I think that right now I'm leaving a Doom off the table if I proceed the way I just did. Not evading him this turn. So I'm going to say that before he hunted, or even after he hunted, I suppose, I'm going to spend 2 clues as a group to place a Doom on the current agenda. Because I want this scenario to be over sooner, and I'm not going to be evading him until the start of next turn. So, like, why wouldn't I put a Doom down now, right? So, yeah, that's what happened, and then I did my upkeep. And then we'll do this upkeep with Leo as well. Guard Dog, okay. We'll get 3 out of 5 Doom. Encounter cards. Marked by the sign. Little dicey. We will commit this to be 2 up. But that's not super convincing, is it? Unfortunately, we cannot throw these watch thises. They're only on tests that you're performing. So, yeah, we're definitely 2 up there. We'll pull a -3. So we fail that and take 2 horror, which will kill off Jake and put 1 directly on Ursula. And that is real dicey. And then Leo gets Twisted to His Will, which is, again, the same kind of bullshit. -3. It's 3, so I'm 1 up. And we fail by 1 and discard 2 cards. Guard Dog, and a Watch This. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm wondering now if it would be safer for me to try a couple of evades on this guy before I do the guaranteed evade. Because if I can just add a Doom, after successfully evading him and survive the enemy phase, then I don't have to deal with another Mythos phase. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, I don't even have to do that. I can just have Leo tank all of this damage, forfeit his turn, and just end it. Yeah, let's just do that. So Leo's going to engage him. And then he's just going to end his turn and be done with it. And then we'll spend 2 clues to place a Doom on the agenda. And then Ursula's going to sit here looking really, really intelligent, and she's going to forfeit her turn as well. And then the Organist is going to attack Leo, just killing Lonnie, because Lonnie's a sacrificial mule at this point. And as a matter of course, we're going to do our upkeep. And then the agenda ticks over, and we're good. So, if we have more conviction than doubt, advance to Act 2B. Check the campaign log. If you intruded on a secret meeting, proceed to R2. Otherwise, proceed to R1. He is already here. Record in your campaign log that you found Nigel's home. Add 2 remove the Elder Sign tokens and add the 2 Cultist tokens, and then we get our victory value in the victory display, which is 6. Great. All right, that was awesome. Pretty razor thin margins on Ursula still. She just cannot catch a break. I think I need some... I gotta buy her like an Elder Sign amulet or something, because this is starting to get ridiculous. She's just getting... She took no damage and just got absolutely hammered on horror. I've never struggled so much with horror on her before. Like I know that her weakness is kind of mean in that regard, but I've never just gotten absolutely shit on so hard on horror with her before. And this happened with me in my play along with Stella and Akachi, where Akachi was playing through TFA with the 2 arcane researchers and just couldn't catch a break on not getting just totally shit on with horror. But this is taking the cake. This is very stressful. At least she's not taking a bunch of trauma like Akachi did. But anyways, Leo was pretty well useless this scenario. I guess that's what conviction route does to you on this one. The shotguns didn't play into it at all, but I shouldn't say useless. He killed off all the bio keys, so got me 2 more VP, kept Ursula safe while she did all the work. Good job, Leo. Anyways, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it as always, and I will see you next time in the Pallid Mask.